With each episode of the Drive to Survive series, viewers are plunged into the intense world of Formula One, where every second counts and every race has the potential to change the course of history. But amidst the drama and exciting twists, something significant seems to be missing, and that's the presence of the best driver on the grid. Well, not anymore, because Max is back. Yes, you heard that right. Max Verstappen is back on Drive to Survive, and this time he's here to stay.
I'm back.
So why did he pull out of the series in the first place, and what prompted his decision to return? When the first season of the Drive to Survive docuseries aired in 2019, it triggered a new buzz of excitement around F1. Within the first week of its release, the series was watched by 1.8 million people. But despite this staggering viewership and raving reviews, the show also got some criticism, most notably from F1 drivers like Lando Norris, Fernando Alonso, and Max Verstappen. However, Verstappen was undoubtedly the biggest and most vocal critic of the series. From the onset, his disdain for the show was palpable, and he made sure to remind us all with every opportunity that he got.
I never really liked that. I prefer to just have a one-on-one interview to the person who would like to know me.
Well, most F1 fans are probably not surprised by this comment because we all know Verstappen as the one driver on the grid who hates paparazzi. He just wants to arrive at every race weekend, get the job done, and move on to the next race. The fact that he was featured in the debut season came as a surprise to many fans, considering his conservative lifestyle. But just when we started to celebrate his appearance in the series, the inevitable happened. Verstappen announced that he would not be granting interviews for the second season of the show. It was a huge blow for the series, softened only by the fact that the production team had access to the Red Bull garage, meaning they were still able to film snippets of Verstappen's season. And this made fans even more curious to find out why he refused to participate in the interviews. Thankfully, the Red Bull racer was gracious enough to share his reasons. According to Verstappen, one of the reasons he decided to excuse himself from the show is because he believes the producers faked rivalries that didn't exist in the debut season. They faked a few rivalries which they don't really exist, the Triple World Champion said, so I decided not to be a part of it and did not give any more interviews after that because then there is nothing you can show. I am not really a dramatic show kind of person. I just want facts and real things to happen. Listening to this comment, one would have thought Verstappen was referring to his rivalry with Lewis Hamilton, but that's not the case. Instead, he was commenting on how the producers made Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo look like bitter rivals. Lando and Daniel are two great people I know. They have really great characters, and immediately at the second episode, it looks like they are not very friendly to each other. And for me, that's not correct, and that's why I'm also not a part of it. Considering the context of the series and the goal behind it, it was probably expected that the producers might fake some scenes to increase tension and keep viewers curious. After all, it's all part of the entertainment that the show is meant to offer, but Verstappen clearly didn't see it that way. If you have enjoyed this video thus far, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to enjoy more thrilling videos like this one. Another reason Verstappen isn't a fan of Drive to Survive is the sheer amount of time that it takes from his schedule and distracts him from racing. As the main gladiators of the sport, Formula One drivers are often required to do media sessions and attend promotional events. While some are happy to fulfill this obligation, Max Verstappen doesn't exactly enjoy it, specifically because he thinks it's time-consuming. At one point, it helps to bring in audience, but that effect also runs out, Max explained. I think we're beyond that stage now, and it's more like a reality show in my opinion. Plus, it takes way too much time anyway. I need to focus on the racing and have private time and not spend another half hour at the race weekend when they need to talk to you. Expanding further on his thoughts, Verstappen admits that the award-winning series is beneficial to the sport, but it features too many controversies like the popular American TV series Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I saw the benefit initially, of course you get more popularity, but for me now I think you reach a stage where it's a bit more like Keeping Up with the F1 world, if you know my reference, the Triple World Champion said. In addition, Max suggested that shooting a comprehensive Formula One season review might be more appealing than the Drive to Survive series. I think it shouldn't be like that, Verstappen said. It's better just to make a season review by F1 itself. That's way nicer to look at, but that's my opinion. Nobody needs to share my opinion, I just don't like to be a part of it. Fast forward to March 2022, Verstappen was once again asked about his decision to boycott the series, and the Red Bull driver was emphatic in his reply, stating that he had no intention to return to the show. But only a few months later, the reigning world champion made an admission that shocked the entire grid. I always wanted to be a part of it, but said it needs to be a realistic image of how I am, Verstappen said at a livery launch in New York. This was a complete U-turn on his initial decision, and as you would expect, the announcement sparked renewed interest in the series. So what exactly made Verstappen change his mind? Well, following intense criticism after the debut season, stakeholders, including producers, team managers, and drivers, engaged in extensive discussions. At the end of the dialogue, Max Verstappen agreed to return, but only if the initial complaints around misplaced commentary, staged scenes, and faked rivalries are addressed. I sat together with them and we talked about it, and I said what I thought went wrong in the past, Verstappen explained. During this unprecedented meeting, the three-time world champion says he understands the need to infuse drama and suspense into the series. But he also wants things to be portrayed exactly how they happened, and the producers agreed to it. Of course, I understand when you create a show, there needs to be drama. It needs to be exciting. But I'm a guy who finds it also very important that you're portrayed well, and that they do not start to copy comments on the different kinds of footage while it didn't happen like that. I had to explain it to them that this was my view. Otherwise, I didn't want to be a part of it. But yes, they understood. The return of Max Verstappen to Drive to Survive is seen as a massive boost for the series, and you can understand why. At the time he pulled out of the series, he wasn't a world champion yet, and his absence wouldn't have done too much damage to the show. But since his first title win in 2021, his stock has risen significantly. Today, not only is he a three-time champion, he is also the reigning world champion, and that's why he needs to be part of the series. Thankfully, the Dutch racer also shares this perspective. I know that especially being a world champion, that you have to be part of something like that, he said. Now that things are back on track, Verstappen is feeling very positive about the Drive to Survive series and his other media duties, even as he looks to continue his impeccable dominance on the track. But I'm positive, of course, because I know it's important for Formula One, the Red Bull driver said. I just focus on my job, and I know the media is a part of it. You deal with it and grow up as a person, in racing and in life, personally. Of Verstappen's return to Drive to Survive. Let us know in the comments section below.